If you keep ignoring the way people rewrite your emotions, you're letting someone else decide who you're allowed to be. This isn't just about manipulation. This is about identity, yours. Because gaslighting isn't designed to make you confused. It's designed to make you doubt yourself, your memories, your reactions, your intentions, your character. Psychologists describe gaslighting as one of the only forms of emotional abuse that can reprogram a person's entire sense of self without them ever realizing it. And that's why it's dangerous. Not because it hurts your feelings, but because it rewrites who you think you are. And here's where most people start losing control without even noticing. The human brain prefers a comforting lie over an uncomfortable truth almost every single time. That's why gaslighting works. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is wired to avoid psychological discomfort. If someone lies to you in a way that feels emotionally easier than accepting the painful truth, your mind will choose the lie. And the gaslighter knows this. They exploit it. They weaponize it. They twist it into control. And here's the part that explains why you felt trapped even when you could have walked away. Section 1. Your brain versus reality. Why gaslighting works. Your mind thinks it remembers events accurately. But the reality is memory is fragile, flexible, and easily influenced by emotion. Your brain thinks it knows itself. But the reality is identity is shaped by feedback, not truth. Your brain thinks that you would never fall for manipulation. But the reality is every human mind is vulnerable because humans were built to trust. This is the core psychology behind gaslighting. Your brain prioritizes emotional stability over factual accuracy. If a lie reduces conflict, reduces guilt, or reduces fear, your mind will choose it. Not because you're gullible, but because your brain is designed to keep you emotionally safe, not logically correct. And a skilled gaslighter understands this better than you understand your own mind. Section 2. The psychological vulnerabilities gaslighters seek. Gaslighters don't attack your intelligence. They attack your emotional wiring. People who get gaslit the most often share these traits. Empathy, deep self-reflection, high loyalty, desire to understand others, conflict avoidance, fear of hurting people. Tendency to doubt themselves when criticized, desire to explain themselves clearly. These traits make you a good person, but in the hands of a manipulator, they become psychological openings. Your mind thinks empathy protects relationships. Reality, empathy makes you question your own reactions instead of questioning their intentions. Your mind thinks self-reflection builds growth. Reality, self-reflection becomes self-blame when someone twists your perceptions. Your mind thinks loyalty builds stability. Reality, loyalty becomes a chain when applied to someone who lies. A gaslighter chooses people like you because your strongest qualities can be turned into weapons against your own identity. Section 3. How gaslighters systematically break down your sense of self. Gaslighting usually follows a psychological sequence. Phase 1. Identity softening. Your mind thinks things are good. Reality. They're studying you. They praise you, mirror you, validate you. This builds emotional dependency. Phase 2. Contradiction. Your mind thinks misunderstandings are normal. Reality. The gaslighter is testing how easily they can alter your perception. Small comments like, "You remembered that wrong." "You're exaggerating." "You're too sensitive." They start rewriting your interpretation of events, not dramatically, strategically. Phase 3. Confusion. State. Your mind thinks you're being fair by considering their side. Reality. They're manipulating your doubt. You begin to think, maybe they're right. Maybe I misread the situation. Maybe I should apologize. Phase 4. Reality replacement. Your mind thinks you're compromising. Reality, you're surrendering your voice. When two realities clash, your brain chooses the one that feels less dangerous socially. So you accept their version again and again, until accepting their version becomes a habit. Phase 5, identity redefinition. This is where the deepest damage happens. Your mind thinks, something is wrong with me. Reality, they have successfully rewritten your identity. You begin to believe their labels. I'm dramatic. I'm forgetful. I'm unstable. I'm the problem. This is not confusion anymore. This is psychological conditioning. Section 4. The psychological tools. Gaslighters used to control you. Every gaslighter uses a predictable set of mental weapons. Here are the most damaging. Tool 1. Selective attention. Your mind thinks they forgot. Reality, they ignore your feelings strategically. Tool 2. Emotional reversal. Your mind thinks you're explaining. Reality, they twist your explanation into an attack. Tool 3. Triangulation. Your mind thinks others agree with them. Reality, they use outside names to intimidate and isolate you. Tool 4. Emotional starvation. Your mind thinks they're having a bad day. Reality, they are withholding affection to punish you. Tool 5. Verbal reframing. Your mind thinks they're clarifying. Reality, they're rewriting the narrative in real time. Tool 6. Identity targeting. Your mind thinks they're pointing out flaws to help you. Reality, they're systematically tearing down who you are. Each tool is designed to destroy your self-trust, your emotional clarity, your confidence, your independence, your intuition. Gaslighting isn't about lies. It's about control of your perception. Section 5. The emotional fallout. What gaslighting does to your mind. Long-term gaslighting causes emotional confusion, hypervigilance, self-blame, decision paralysis, identity disturbances, over-apologizing, fear of expressing feelings, anxiety around communication, difficulty trusting your own memory, difficulty trusting others. Your mind thinks you're broken from the inside. Reality, you were broken from the outside, repeatedly until it reached the inside. Gaslighting is psychological erosion. Slow, silent, invisible, but devastating. Section 6. Why you didn't leave sooner. Psychologists explain this clearly. Your brain cannot break a cycle that it believes it caused. Gaslighters make you believe that you misunderstood, overreacted, misremembered, caused the problem. If your mind believes you caused the pain, then leaving feels like running away from your responsibility. This is why smart people stay. Not because they're trapped, but because they think fixing the situation is their duty. It's not duty, it's manipulation. Section 7. The turning point. When people finally realize the truth. People break the spell only after seeing one thing. A pattern. Not one lie, not one denial, not one argument, but a repeated emotional pattern with the same outcome. You hurt, they win. You apologize, they feel powerful. You soften, they become stronger. This realization is the beginning of identity recovery. Your mind thinks it's finally understanding the situation. Reality, you're finally seeing what was happening all along. Section 8. The gaslighter's reaction. When you regain awareness. Once they sense you're waking up, they panic. Expect sudden kindness, fake vulnerability, dramatic apologies, passive-aggressive guilt, blame shifting, emotional bribery, urgent demands, threats of abandonment, stories about how you changed. This isn't love. This is desperation. You weren't their partner. You were their supply. Section 9. How you rebuild your sense of self. After gaslighting, your recovery requires 3 psychological shifts. Shift 1. Reclaiming memory. Start telling yourself, I know what I experienced. Repeat until your brain believes you again. Shift 2. Reclaiming emotion. Your feelings are valid not because they're perfect, but because they're yours. Shift 3. Reclaiming identity. Rewrite the labels they gave you one by one. You are not too sensitive. You simply noticed disrespect. You are not forgetful. They distorted events. You are not the problem. You were the target. Identity recovery is the final stage of breaking the cycle. Here's the truth you've been pretending not to notice. You were never hard to love. You were just easy to control. For someone who wanted power, not connection. To break this cycle, draw a line, a clear one. Because when someone tries to rewrite your reality, you don't need to argue, you don't need to explain, you don't need to prove anything. Just step back. Emotionally, mentally, psychologically. Here's the boundary that actually works. I trust my own experience more than your version of it. Say it silently. Say it loudly. Say it until your identity strengthens again. Because the moment you choose your truth over someone else's manipulation, their control ends forever. If that helped, subscribe. Human decode to protect your mind.